You guys, can we just take a moment? 2020 was not what any of us were expecting it to be.
Bruh, what was this year, dog? Oh my gosh, it was so crazy.
My 2020?
This is my reaction to 2020.
Insane, for sure.
I don't even know how to begin a summary of what this year was, but I can tell you it was tough for every single one of us. I felt like this whole year I was telling people to mute themselves, both online and in person.
2020 for us was like
Not a good year.
our extroverted selves could not handle that.
I don't really know what to say about it. But yet, here we are, and so much has happened.
This is a moment of reflection or realization that God has been constant through all the changing situations in our lives.
Through all the uncertainty, through all the hardships that we had all gone through in this past year, and will still continue to go through, that the Lord has been such a constant in our life. He has been so merciful, so faithful, and He will continue to be because He is such a loving God.
Definitely, like every setback, everything that you think was a setback is a setup. God always has a plan, and just like Jeremiah 29:11 says, His plans are to prosper us and never to harm us. He knows our future, and we can trust in the fact that He is good and He is our hope. Hope has a name.
Okay, so let's not get too caught up in this year that we forget the reason we celebrate this season. We all need a little bit of hope, so here is the story of the birth of King Jesus.
So the story begins with Mary and her fiancé Joseph, who lived in the town of Nazareth. One day, God sent the angel Gabriel to Mary with some life-changing news.
Gabriel greeted her and said, "The Lord is with you, and you are anointed with great favor." At this point, Mary was out of sorts and was shaking and confused and absolutely blinded by Gabriel's entrance.
He realized that Mary was out of sorts, so he comforted her and said, "Mary, you have nothing to fear. God has chosen you for this very moment.
You will become pregnant and give birth to a son and call his name Jesus.
His reign will know no end, and His kingdom will never be defeated. He will be the hope of the world."
Mary couldn't believe what she was hearing. She wasn't even married.
How could this be possible? Gabriel felt the fear in her heart and reminded her that God's promises are never empty of power,
And that nothing is impossible with Him.
A census was being called throughout the nation, so a very pregnant Mary and Joseph packed their bags and returned home to Judea to a little town called Bethlehem.
They went searching and searching for a place that was fit for Mary to have the Son of God.
But all the inns were full, so they offered a stable where the animals were kept.
Baby Jesus was wrapped up and laid in a manger in the stillness of the night.
What they couldn't see was that the moment of Jesus' birth shook the heavens and the earth.
The angel came again and visited a group of shepherds who were watching their sheep to bring them the good news.
His entrance left them just as terrified as Mary, but the angel reminded them that there was nothing to be afraid of.
The news he brought to the shepherds of baby king was for everyone and everywhere.
In that very moment, the skies were filled with thousands of angels who celebrated the coming of the King and sang, "For there is peace and hope for the sons of men."
The shepherds stood in awe and they couldn't help but go look for this baby boy. The angels told them to follow a bright star in the sky as they looked for the baby.
As soon as they got to the stable, they told Mary and Joseph what they had encountered, and they went back to the field in complete wonder and adoration of what God had done.
The star was so bright in the night sky that wise men from the east noticed a change in the skies and came searching for what they believed was the fulfillment of the prophecies.
The star as their guide, they traveled until they reached the manger, and overwhelming joy filled them as they approached the baby king.
And as soon as they laid their eyes on the baby, they couldn't help but fall on their knees in worship.
They laid gold, frankincense, and myrrh at his feet. This baby grew to live up to everything the angel had told his mother and what all the prophecies had spoken of.
He healed the sick, he raised the dead, he established heaven's kingdom culture on earth. What the shepherds and the wise men had encountered that night was just a glimpse of what the rest of humanity would witness for years to come. Hope in human form.
The establishment of a new kingdom, a kingdom that would last forever and ever, and a king who would never fall off his throne.
Isaiah 9:1 verses 7 says this, "For unto us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor,
Mighty God,
Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace."
Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice and righteousness from that time on and forever.
From that time on and forever. This year has relentlessly left us discouraged, scared, and anxious.
But we just want to remind you guys that this season is a reminder that hope is still alive. So no matter how crazy life gets, we get to hold on to the fact that our God, our King, is still on the throne. So don't lose heart.
Don't give up on God.
He is still doing a new thing.
So as we celebrate this holiday season and get ready for this new year,
we hold on to hope because
hope isn't just a feeling, it's a person.
And his name is Jesus.
Hope has a name.
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 His name is Jesus.
His name is Jesus.
His name?
His name.
His name.
His name is Jesus.